Hi, my name's Margaret. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm the Cradle Car reading. Now the topic again is about William, and I'm going to talk about the environment of the town and how it probably would work. 9 out of 10 it would work this way, and the people around it, and who knows who, because I think this is important when you look into something and you think, does this make sense? How do they know this? That kind of stuff. Yeah, so this is how it works. I'm going to talk about the country town itself. Now, Kendall Street has between 8 to 1,200 people. Just to give you a heads up now, I used to live in a country town. It was heaps smaller than this, so I know a bit about country towns from that. So, like I said, it has 800 to 1,200 people in this country town, Kendall Street, town. And not, yes, that sense. In Pendle Street, there's, from what I gathered, it's just what I gathered through the pictures, you got the foster grandmother house, and then next to there, there's another house, and across from there, it's another house. And down the bottom from that house, it's a vacant block. I don't know if it's a land or someone owns it. I just know it's a vacant block. And then on the other side of the house, there's another house. Yeah. Yeah, and at the further end, there's a I can't think of the names. Where people pass and they bury these people there. I'm hoping you know what I mean. I know it sounds rude, but I just can't think of this name. I know it off by heart, but I just can't remember this name. And around this area, it's nature parks, places. So I don't know if you can walk down there. I know part of it you can, but I don't know how far, because some nature parks you can go for long walks and some you can just go for short walks. So I don't know in that sense, but you got to block in. And yeah, you got this place where you bury your loved ones. So that's how it works there. And around there, it looks like there's a lot of land, a lot of trees, a lot of land. And you only got, like I said, about 4 houses, and that's it in Pendle Drive. So everyone knows everyone, especially for people. So if you were a stranger, like if I walked into this drive, I would stick out like that. There would know I'm a stranger, why am I there? It doesn't matter if it's they talk about this, it doesn't matter if it's up the street, you can get in easy or not. If you were in there, people know you straight off. They recognise you off by heart. So that's another thing you need to know about Kendall Street. Kendall Road in Pendle Drive. Kendall town, like I said, it's going to go about 1,200 people. So pretty much places like this, if you did the wrong thing, like if I went along and took William, you would know it. There'd be someone would have saw something, yeah. You would know it. If I was acting a bit odd, like I forgot things, you would know it. You would just know. Margaret looked acting a bit odd. What is it about Margaret? She's acting a little odd, and she forgetting things. It's pretty much how it works. So that's another thing you need to know. People know things. If you had a secret, like if I went in and I said to a person, don't tell anyone, but I have dyslexia. I'm telling you, in the next 2 days, this person will tell someone, and the whole 1,200 people probably will know it. It's that kind of thing when you have towns like this. The other thing is, you can have towns that, and I don't know about this, it sounds like it might be this, where you have groups of friends. Like, I like this group, but I don't like this group. So you kind of have your towns that support, split in half kind of thing. Or you have towns that really would stick together, have friends together, do anything for anyone. So when we went missing, I'm telling you right now, on the first morning when he went missing, and the parents looked for him. By the end of that day, the whole town would know about it. It's that kind of town. So it's important to know about this. So, and the other thing about towns like this, like I said, if I walked in there right now, went to Candace town, and I was just there and went to pick a park, I would be high noticeable because people thinking, who the heck is this lady? Has they never seen me? Did know everyone around them? And I just walked in and who the heck is this lady? So it's that kind of town. If something changed, everyone would know about it. It's that kind of town. So another thing with Kansas town is what I've gathered from the pictures, it's very country. It's lots of trees, a lot of land. There's a bridge and a river there. I feel like it might be close to the beach because I saw a picture of a beach in these pictures. So it's very country. And with the grandparents' house, you'll see lots of trees around their land. So that's another thing you need to know about it. So it's everyone knows everyone. And if you did the wrong thing, you will know. If you didn't do the wrong thing, you'll know that too. So you can't keep a secret in a town like this. No way you can keep a secret. So that's the whole thing about a country town. It's a place like that. So they probably know a lot about this thing with William, how he went missing, to a point the police probably really have to really watch what they're saying, because what's the lip of the mouth, that's it kind of thing. It's that kind of town. To a point they probably can't talk to their partners about it. So yeah, it's that kind of town. So having that said, I'm going to go into people who are at Kendall Street. Some people, it's Kendall Town and some aren't. So I'm going to go into the foster parents. And like I said, with the foster parents, they would have went through a whole heap of stuff related to fostering the sister and William. One of them things are policy procedures. And one of the things for policy procedure would be, what would you do when your child went missing? And it is a known fact. If you went to DHS or a place for people with disability, you learn these things. What would you do when the child went missing? So, from what I get it, the foster mum knows this stuff. She knows her stuff to a point where she said, when she said to us, she's got this, it's on calendar fair, she says, keep it together, keep it together. If it was, and this is nothing offensive towards her, it's a good thing because it makes you think. Yeah, it does make you think. I've been in situations like this where I gave out a wrong medication, so I know where she's coming from with this. So to a point where she said she probably would have thought about it and said, keep it together and I can lose it later. And that's how most people would think about it when you learn a policy procedure. And I think that's a good thing to know. So she knows her stuff. Her husband knows his stuff, where he goes and look for William. And he's thinking like William. He wouldn't go up there. He would do this. So he knows William enough to know where to go. To the point where he talking to someone about it and say, this is where I went to look for William. This is what I did with William, and this is what she did too. So it's important to know that with the foster care parents. And it doesn't mean that they didn't love him. I think they did. Like I said, being a foster care parent, you don't do it out of money. You don't do it out of anything else. You do it out of love. So they did really care for him and his sister. So it's important to know about that. And that leads into the foster grandmother, sorry. I'm going to call her the foster grandmother. Now, the lady I'm going to talk about, I don't know if she was the foster grandmother or just the grandmother. So I'm going to give you a heads up about this. Now, she knew a lady called Kim. Now, I'm going to just call her the grandmother. The grandmother name is Natalie, and Natalie knew this lady Kim. She just lived outside of Kendall town. I don't know how far out. I think she just said 3 k's or further out. So it's outside of town, but close to the town. Yeah. She knew Natalie. They're both best friends. Yeah, and she used to live with Joshua's brother-in-law. Brother-in-law, because Joshua was married to Debbie. Someone just looking at the paper here that married to Debbie. So he needed Joshua, and she was living with his brother, her brother-in-law. I think it is. I think their brother, Joshua, and this guy's brothers. I think that's how it works. So, yeah, so she knows him. At that stage, did you know Josh was a sex offender? But I kind of get it. Kim didn't know this. And then Kim knows Bill. Now she said Bill would come to her house and fix stuff. Like, because he's the he did fix was fixing the washing machine of the foster grandmother's house. So he does stuff like that. So he would come over and fix stuff like that for her with Kim. At this stage, she didn't know he was a sex offender, and this is the bit I know that I think it's Bill that knows this other guy. I think it's Anthony. Because there's 4 sex offenders in this situation, but I don't know how he knows Anthony. So that's that. And like I said, Debbie is Joshua's wife. Yeah. And no, but Joshua has a sister. I think it's a sister or sister-in-law who I think it's the wife, sorry, he lives with, and they know the person next door. From what, I'm not quite sure how this works, but she has a car, she lives next door to them, and they share the car, yeah, and I'll get a bit more into that later. So then, there's 6 people knows each other, yeah, because my honest opinion, if she knows Joshua, she would know Debbie, the wife of Joshua. Because this goes hand in hand, you know someone in one town, you know their partner, you know their kids. It's how it works in the town. So yeah, so that's how it works. So we go into Bill Spencer, one of the sex offenders. Now he has a wife, and they have grandkids. At this stage, the grandkids are taken away from him because they think he has something to do with William or the 2 charges. And I'll talk about the 2 charges later. But he has a wife and some grandkids living with him. Now, the grandkids go to their local school. So that's another thing you need to know about it. What else do you need to know about this thing? I think that was it, actually. This is way smaller than I thought it'd be. So people know people, like I said, like the sister or sister-in-law who, well, I think it's the wife. The wife is married to Debbie is married to Joshua, yeah? And Joshua knows Kim, yeah? So if Joshua knows Kim, Kim will know Debbie, yeah? And he has a sister, who think he did it, and I'll get into that later. But yeah, so like I said, if you know one group of people, you know them all. So that's how it works. And that's a typical country town. The other thing is there's a police officer. Once he knew that William went missing, I think it was Pendle Street he went into, or another street that his mother lives in, and because the mother questioned him because it's your son. So yeah, the police officer knew this lady. Don't know if she knows other people, but yeah, she knows this lady. So that's pretty much how it works. And from what I get, most of the kids who lives in Kendall Town go to this primary school, because there's a little clip on YouTube about they're doing this fun run or game, be aware of when he went missing and what you can do for him. So it's that kind of town, and this is why I'm putting this all out here, because I think it's important to know who knows who doesn't know who. And the other thing was, because I talk about there's 4 sex offenders, 2 of them are very much in the media. You watch Current Affair, Four Corners, and I think it's the new 9 News and 7 News. I could be wrong about the 7 News, but it's out there. You if you look at Wynn's case on YouTube, you'll get these other 2 people. So it's pretty out there. So I thought this is an important thing to pass on, because it leads into my theories and other people's theories. And it's our theories, they're not facts, alright? They're just theories. And I want to lean that to you too. So if I turn to you and said, Margaret did it, don't take it off heart, because I don't know Margaret did it. I mean, Margaret could have been in America at that stage. So you just don't know. So it's just theories, alright? And that's another thing I want to pass on to. It's all theories. But the good thing about theories is it might help with the case. Like, there's another case out there, and you all know about Madison McCain, and someone just said they're going to sue, the parents just going to sue the property police again. And some reason it just got into my head a few weeks ago. Someone was saying they was going to blame someone at a job to move away, so they don't focus on something that they did. So I put on Facebook, I'm quite open to saying this, and I just said to it, do you think the police has something on them? Because that's why they're suing them, because they're focusing on something else, not on the situation that they need to focus on. And that's normally how it works sometimes, where you might hear something and you go, oh, that makes sense because of this, and that's why I put that there. So this is what it is for, like, just make people think about it. That makes sense because of this, should I pass this on? It's that kind of stuff. So I want to pass that on to you too. So it sounds like this is going to be a short one, but I want to put this out here because the next, I'm going to home pin on certain people and why people think they're involved and why they're not involved. And my theory why I think they might be involved and why they're not involved. I'm not going to do a name and game thing here because I don't know. I'm not 100% sure I know it's them. And if it is, if I say it was like the parents, then I would say, yeah, could not be the parents because this too. So if I think it was, then I would say it probably not because of this too. So I want you to put that out there for you too. So, and it's not, I know a lot of YouTube people say it's because of the legal reason. For me, it's not about the legal reason. I want to just give information, make people aware how they're thinking. Like I said with the last one, media overanalyze things, overdo things, to make it something small into something big. Doesn't matter where you go, what you do, some of it's just not true, and it leads into problems. And at this stage, I don't know how true this is, but the police got so involved with Spencer, and I'm hoping he does this with me. I know I work for the channel, but it's one thing saying you think it is to something saying it's you without proof. It's all, to me, it's all about proof. Can you prove it was Margaret? If you can't prove it's Margaret, say something like, it's my opinion, or this is how I feel. You don't say it's Margaret because you think it might be Margaret, you know. It's why if I go to a situation, it doesn't matter if I know something about a missing person, or I know something's not right, I always say, this is my opinion. I never ever say it was Margaret's fault. Because when you turn around and say it's Margaret's fault, and later on it's not Margaret's fault, who you think is going to get in trouble for it? And that's what I want you to look at this whole thing. And this is what I'm saying, it's all opinions. It's not facts. It's just opinions. I don't really care about the legal side of it, because opinions are quite different, because everyone can have opinions, that everyone has the right to say what they're thinking. But it's another thing when you turn around and blaming someone that you don't know it's actually that person. So this is why I thought, give you a bit of background about the people around this whole situation, and a bit of background about the town itself, and how certain things work, like the foster care and the media works. So this is important. And like I said, there's $1 million out there, and it really amazes me that the right information is not coming out of it for that. I mean, to me it just says it was more than just about $1 million, yeah, if someone took him. Yeah, and I'm gonna leave this at this stage. I'm thinking tomorrow I will talk about the 4 sex offenders, because I got a bit of information on these guys. Now we'll give you a heads up. Some of the stuff you guys won't like, but they are just opinions, and I'm not going to take anyone's side of things. I do have theories behind it. If you watch the first one, you will know 1 or 2 of them. But at the same time, they are just opinions. That's just my thoughts. So, leaving that at this stage. Like I said, tomorrow, also I won't say tomorrow, because it probably won't be tomorrow. The next one would be on these 4 sex offenders, and what I think about it, and what other people think about it. And they are just opinions, alright? They're not facts, they're opinions. I really want to put that out there. They are just opinions. So I'm going to just leave it at this stage, and I might leave some drop things that you might want to look into later. But like I said, if you just Google Tyrrell, I'm saying that wrong, I know I am, you will get this information. It's everywhere. Yeah, it's been around for 5-6 years. This is the 6th year, so it's a lot of information out there. And then the other thing I want to put out there too is, I think it's next week, they're doing some more, they're going to this court. They did it last year, but they haven't finished all the information. They're going back to it this year, and I think it starts next week. So I will get more information, and I'm hoping to bring that on into it later. So I might get more related to these guys who are sex offenders, I don't know. So just want to share that with you too. So it'll be updated every so often with other information. So I'll leave that with you now, and I'll get back to you another day or two, I would say, but I'm not quite sure. Yeah, so yeah, share if you feel it's useful, like someone might have some information, and that's it too. If you do have information you're not sure, just pass it on to Crime Stoppers and they can make that choice for you. So they're pretty good with it. I had certain incidents for not like to ring and where I just rang them and said this is what it is. So they're pretty good, most of them are. So they will make that choice for you if you're not sure about it. In 100% sure, if you're 100% sure, and I thought, well, yada yada, ring up 000. That's right. And if you're from overseas, go by the website, because I don't think this phone number will go from overseas into Australia. So that's pretty much what I want to say to you today. Yeah, see you next time. Share if you want. Bye.